Take your hand and touch your chest. You have touched the source of offense. No, we don't have to go outside. We don't have to be intellectual. We don't have to go to the abstract. That the source of offense is people. And the target-rich environment for offense is right in this room. The 4 categories of people who we invited to worship with us today. We invited 4 categories of people to worship today, and all of them are offenders. Your friends. We invited 4 groups of people: friends, relatives, acquaintances, and neighbors. All of them are offenders. Can't nobody offend you like your friends, because that includes your spouses. Now, don't make the Lord regret that He given this great word to you. I'm telling you that those 4 categories, friends, relatives, acquaintances, and neighbors, your friends offend you. Don't sit in here and say you've never been offended by a friend. They've done something that has just got on your last nerve. Some of you all in here have ex-friends. Some of y'all in here have ex-spouses. All of y'all in here got ex-significant others. Folk that you used to be so crazy about. First thing in the morning, you ring the phone. Hi. What you doing? Last thing at night. Hi. What you doing? Now, if you see them, you're going to go and get a restraining order, because they got to be stalking you. Something went on. Some offensive people are offensive. They offend your friends, your spouses, your significant others, your spiritual leaders. Some of y'all in other churches because somebody offended you. And I'm not going to stand here and lie. I have been offended, and I've done some offending myself. I got folk walking around here, if I could bring them in to testify, they could fill up this building several times. Their bodies would be all outside around the building. You think you at a rock concert. Why are you here? Because Michael P. Williams offended me. And what gives me comfort as I preach this message, I'm not the Lone Ranger. You got some folk that you've offended. Nobody can offend you like your kinfolk. The difference between friends and relations is that we get angry about our friends like spouses, spiritual leaders, friends, because we chose them. And whenever you get offended, you always regret your choice. I should have never married that fool. I shouldn't have let her in and tell her my business. She ain't my friend. I don't know why I went to that church. That man ain't nothing but a fool. What you talking about? We get offended, so we begin to question a choice that seemed so rosy in the beginning. Oh, y'all won't let me preach today. No. A choice that was just, you were fired up. This my woman. This my man. This my baby. This my boo. That's my pastor. Preach, pastor. Don't you be talking about my pastor. And then when you get offended, it's your pastor. Y'all won't talk with me. Y'all won't talk with me. Nobody can offend you like relatives, but the problem with them is that you don't choose them, you're born with them. Connected by blood and DNA. Acquaintances, a lot of times those are people that we work with, that we run into, that we deal with in a limited but compressed and stressful amount of time. Now, ain't nothing like having to go to a workplace of offense. Some of y'all offended every day you go to work. You go and confess. Now, I can't stand these folk. They get on my nerve. And then your neighbors. I know we live in a time, I grew up in a world where people really had neighbors. No, seriously, I grew up I thank God, as a teenager, as a kid, we knew the people who lived on either side of us. Everybody, all the kids on the block could be found in somebody's yard, somebody's porch. A lot of times I know you don't even know the people who live next to you. You may see them when you go to dump your garbage or pick up your mail. It's a different kind of thing. But somebody asked Jesus one day, asked him a question. One of the Pharisees, trying to be smart alecky, said, who is my neighbor? Because Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. He said, who is my neighbor? And he then told the story of the Good Samaritan. That a neighbor can be a stranger. It can be a person that you reach out to in the time of need, and they can offend you. Let me tell you, I was up at the McDonald's. I was in the line. I saw this brother, obviously a street guy, knocking on people's windows. They rolling them up. He trying to get something to eat. I pull up to him. Brother scraggly out on the street. I said, hey, man. Yeah. I said, can I get you? I said, want me to get you something to eat? Yeah, fool, get it. If you're going to get me something to eat, get it. So I went and got it, and I brought it out to him. He said, what is this? I said, it's a soda. I don't drink no soda. Threw it down. Okay, I could feel something rising up. No, that was my neighbor, and he offended me. These are natural sources of offense. But the spiritual source is our sin nature. I can't get no amen on the sin nature. And this sin nature has been masterfully manipulated by Satan. He takes our sin nature and, like a master, molds it and uses it because his agenda remains the same. John 10:10, to steal, kill, and destroy. And when he does that, three things are crucial here. But I want to say this, if I can just back up for 1 second. Satan manipulates these things for some clear and direct purposes. I know steal, kill, and destroy, fills the categories. But there's something under that. And I want to talk about that three things, and then I'm out your way. Three things I'm out your way. That I want us to recognize about offenses. We need to recognize the reason. Last week I was preaching, a lady said, I didn't get that last point. I didn't get point 4, and I forgot it because I got happy. And so if she was spiritual, she'd have picked it up in the spirit. That's just getting that off of me because I didn't give it. But I'm going to give them to you right now. The first thing, everybody say the reason. The second is the remedy. And the third is the results. Okay, here's the first thing, the reason. Satan manipulates human personality and life circumstances to use offenses as a powerful weapon against us. And his purpose is to do two things: to delay or destroy personal spiritual development. He does not want you to grow. The thing that Satan fears the most is not when we're praising, not when we're praying, not when we're preaching, not when we're presenting our gifts. He's afraid that in your daily life, you're going to start acting like Jesus. Him and his imps cannot handle this number of people acting like Jesus. No. Saying what Jesus said, living the way Jesus lived, walking, being committed to the things that he was committed to. So the whole purpose of discipleship is to conform you to the image of Jesus Christ. So the enemy masterfully uses offenses to delay or deny that spirit.